I'm gonna take that boy's crown. There's a serpent in these still waters, lying deep down. To that king I will bow, at least for now. One of these days are coming, I'm gonna take that boy's crown. 'Cause I am a little wicked. I am, 'cause I am. Hands raised, just like it said. I am a little wicked. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on the throne. I'll be high up in that tower, he'll be down there getting stoned. Beware the patient woman, 'cause this much I know. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on the throne. 'Cause I am a little wicked. I am. Hands raised, just like it said. I am a little wicked. I am a little wicked. I am, yes I am. Hands raised, just like it said. I am a little wicked. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on a throne. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on a throne.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Hello, 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 other wee demented Ewok. How are you doing?
Good, and yourself, we.
Oh, full of the joys of winter, mainly.
And wicked, wicked, wickedness, you witch.
Right? I'm just evil, an evil
Yeah.
little person. Ah, dear. Well, that worked. I'm glad that me pushing buttons like a crazy person is getting slightly easier. Marginally.
You're working it like a pro, dear.
Well, I don't know about that now, but I have a good tutor who's very patient with me, despite the fact that I'm like, what does this do? What is this? And where is that? And where have I put this? Now, yeah, there's a lot of that, everybody. Hello, everybody in the chat. How are you doing? Glad to see you all. I'm still amazed that any of you actually rock up here. So I'm grateful. But it's still kind of frightening. I'm like, oh my goodness, what are you all doing? I love you all, but what are you doing?
We love you.
I love you all right back.
We loves you more than the wicked bitch that called you a wicked witch.
Right? I mean, look, there's people who would get very offended at such terrible, terrible language and calling people names and things. But if the perp wishes to do so, the perp can carry on. Because quite frankly, she's the first one that was name calling, so it's not going to go well from here on out. Not my problem. So yeah, We're in for an educational ride tonight, everybody. Woo! Exciting. Thank you all for bearing with me while I was sick and stuff. My head wanted to be able to do things, but my body was just going, yeah, no, that's not happening. Sorry. Come back next week. Come back the week after that. So, right, now that I've sounded like I'm stopping hyperventilating, we're going to try this and see if it works, see if I can make it work. That would be more likely. So, first of all, we're going to start at the beginning of another exciting little story. I know, it's very good, very good. It's always like a little adventure. And there has been some apparent recent confusion on the purple side of the YouTubes, which is, not uncommon, but it happens quite often, to be honest. And again, if circle jerks aren't being blamed, now it's me. Now then Griffey is now the root of all evil, everybody. Let's welcome the root of all evil to the panel. Thank you very much. We appreciate you being here.
I'm an evil, evil bitch.
You are, yes. You evil, demented evil. Yeah. One of Purple's panel is a lovely lady called Colleen, and as Purple informs the rest of us that once we've been on panel, that therefore we can be, what does she say, fair game. Okay, so now that we're all fair game, and with Miss Colleen popping up, well, here, there, and everywhere, time to clear a little bit of this up. Colleen is a lady, an English lady, in her 60s, apparently. The first time that she had appeared on Purple's panel, about 6 to 8 weeks ago now, she had announced herself with quite an unusual little story, a sad one too, and I'm not being facetious at that for once. Colleen had several children. Two of them had passed away in their early years, which is very sad. I think all of us could have empathy for that.
Most definitely.
And that isn't the problem. Perp, that isn't the problem that anyone has with Miss Colleen. It is not the fact that she has had children that have passed away. That's a very sad situation. What is different, though, is the way that she speaks to other people, especially when challenged on her opinions and ideas. She gets unusually aggressive. I'll save one response till later on. And quite frankly, it seems like she just has a bit of a chip on her shoulder for various different reasons, but loves Perp, loves her. Brilliant, great, happy for you, Colleen. That's lovely. I'm not quite sure if Perp feels the same way back, as you will see later on. That's kind of a very changeable situation. But Colleen has got it into her head. I'm not quite sure why, whether someone has made her believe that, whether it's just a mistaken opinion or something, that people, in her own words, taking the mickey out of her voice is the equivalent to mocking her deceased children and her grief for them. I am here to assure the Perps panel, and quite frankly, any one of her little hate watchers, hey everybody, hey,
Hey,
hey, that that's not the case. We have been, as you so nicely term it, mocking both a little bit of Colleen's presentation, because we're all allowed to do that. It's called having a sense of humor. I know, shocking, really. um, but for the rest of us that do have one, they're kind of necessary. Otherwise, life just gets a bit difficult. And it then leaves you, wanting to fight with everybody on the internet, apparently. So while the rest of us still have our sense of humor, we're going to hang on to it. So there was a little joke made about Colleen at one point, because she was saying some not very nice things, which I will save her embarrassment by repeating them all. But our good friend Tara, lovely lady, a lady who has also had her own situations in life to handle, who is always very polite, respectful to people who are respectful to her, and even when they don't deserve it sometimes, she still maintains that. And yet, Colleen has taken very, very much against Tara and was calling her, a rat. She was so pleased with herself with the fact that she figured out that Tara, spelt backwards, is a rat. I know, it's quite the situation. Aren't you all amazed? Aren't you all amazed? And yes, we spelled backwards is ew, which I love more than I can possibly tell you. um, so it appears that there is a bit of a situation that is formed with the perp and Miss Colleen. Colleen is sort of white knighting for purple mistakenly, but we can all understand it. We've all done it at some point. But the fact that they're letting her make several very, very poor judgments is unfortunate. So yes, we have mocked her accent. I know, that makes us terrible human beings. And yes, when Tara was on the panel after her calling her such things as, a rat multiple times and a liar and evil, etc., etc., Tara had asked Colleen if she'd had a little drinky drink. Now, whether she had or she hadn't, nobody can prove. She has admitted to imbibing on several occasions, which is fine if you can control yourself. But as I've previously explained, that doesn't seem to work out terribly well. And she seems to get into trouble. This is a pattern, a clear pattern that is happening over and over and over again with the people on Perp's channel. People who need some guidance, some help in life, who are then thrown out to do battle for the Perp, And then it doesn't go well for them. Not because anyone is trying to hurt them, but because they are misguided in their efforts. And eventually, in time, as we know from multiple people at this point, they will be thrown away like everyone else. There are many, many skeletons that have been cast along the wayside of Perp's little battle. And it's just amusing to me how that changes on such a frequent basis. One minute they're the best things in sliced bread, they're amazing people, they're just the most lovely human beings you've ever met. And then what do you know? They have a little fallout, and suddenly they have all turned into demons. Everyone is evil. It's a very strange way to behave. I don't know. Am I alone there? When I think that it's a very unusual way to.
No, I find it quite peculiar as well.
Good, good. Otherwise, I would feel kind of weird. Um, Now, I think most people will know that I had pestered the little circle jerks for a little bit and had been on their panel a few times and was very grateful for that. And there's a few people that seem to have an issue with that, which is their problem, not mine. But it seemingly has turned into a whole situation now where the fact that I have been on Griffey's channel for forever and a day has automatically turned Griffey into, as I said, the root of all evil, which is kind of amazing, really. I didn't know I had that much influence on the world. I'm kind of impressed with myself. Um, so
Oh,
yeah,
you should
yeah,
be.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So
You should be. I mean, Perp called you a wicked, wicked witch after all.
right, I haven't been issued a broomstick. There hasn't been a cauldron delivered by Amazon. I'm not really a cat person. So I don't know if I'm fulfilling the witch quota to be accurate, but just to keep Perp happy, I'm going to give it a darn good go. Okay? Because part of my sense of humor is as dark can be. So if you want to go there, we can. I got time for it. So let's start with part of this situation. And like I said, in order to not humiliate Colleen again, I'm going to start this story actually a little bit in the middle with the footage. And that was when Colleen decided to go over to visit the Circle Jerks. Now, for most of us, we wait for an invitation. Did you wait for an invitation, Griffey, or did you just barge your way up onto the channel? How did that work? How did that work for you?
Well, not only did I wait for my invitation, but I also waited for my prompt signaling that it was okay to come up on panel now.
Right?
So I had my invitation, but you didn't see me hopping up there and saying hello as soon as they started the intro.
Right. I mean, it's almost like that's how manners work. And, you sort of think, well, if they would like me to be there, I will be asked to be there. But then I can understand how Perp's panel would get that all sideways with the fact that usually they end up there when they want to shout at someone. So, I mean, I've done it myself. I can't deny this. I tried and I failed, and for Purple I will have a confession. at some point. We'll just leave that there. But right now, we're going to hopefully search for the little video, and I'll hopefully be able to make that work. That's a whole lot of hopefully in one
And
short sentence.
and a little bit of hocus pocus.
Right? What's the magic word, everyone? Well, it should be the magic phrase. It should really be like $17 to be accurate. And, you know, if you could huck up a snot bubble at the same time, that would just add a little bit of extra oomph to your magic, just so that you know.
Yes.
Right. Nearly there, everybody. I feel like a school teacher when I'm doing this. It's like a flashback to way back in the day when I, strangely enough, for an evil, wicked witch, I used to teach Sunday school, so that was a whole thing. I know, right? The things
No.
that
Really? Damn, now we need to do a background check and contact all the parents and let them know.
it's amazing, really. Okay, so let's try this. Do I need to hide you, Griffey, or just keep hiding the video just to check?
Um, just keep hiding the video when you want to do commentary.
Okay, you just need to mute and then
Yep.
unmute whenever I hide it. Okay, I'm with you. Thanks for bearing with me, everybody. I'm still learning. I'm unlike half of YouTube, I'm not pretending to know what the heck I'm doing when it comes to any of this at all. No. Okay, right. Boobies. I forgot to mute myself, didn't I?
Colleen, can we see your face?
How does she have a link?
Well, I did
Well,
for Kraken.
it's
Colleen,
oh.
do we
No,
want
thank you.
Colleen up here?
No.
I'm done. Tit said, no, she have a link.
No,
What
thank
is
you.
it? I was like, wait, where's Colleen? No. That was hilarious. I'm dropping. Why would she have a link? Cam. Hey, Cam.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Am I frozen? Oh,
No,
you're
you're not
fine.
frozen.
okay.
What's up?
Talked about the rules with us.
Oh yeah. That's
Colleen,
why I
you
couldn't
weren't
see.
invited up.
Oh God,
Nobody
it's
invited
Cam
you.
only.
Cam
and
was.
Scott are
Haha. I even remembered
Oh.
to unmute myself and everything.
Brilliant.
Evil witch status achieved, I think. Um so yes, that was the first one. Were you able to hear that? I know that was a little bit quieter, but I've tried my darndest this time to make sure that um hopefully you might have a chance of hearing it. Plus the fact that the recordings of these are a lot better than that initial stream with the very, very, very quiet audio, which wasn't entirely my fault. I just couldn't entirely fix it either. You know, I'll admit this. So yeah, little Colleen just decided as soon as she saw the link, she was up there like a, I mean, I could say like a rat up a drain pipe, really, but um, she was obviously waiting, lurking, ready to go, and I'm pretty sure little unseen will have had her back the entire time, protecting her, loving on her, supporting her, just waiting for her to pop up at the wrong moment. Wait till you're invited, Colleen. Wait for that. Or email them. Ask for an invitation. Ask to speak to them. What is it that is so much of a burning situation? I'm scared to ask that you need to pop up on panel on Circle Jerks when they're about to talk to cracking cases. Anybody any ideas? Anybody any ideas? Because I have no clue.
Nope. I'm stumped on that one too.
Yeah, I don't think she did either, to be honest. But you know, it is what it is. And to be honest, I've seen people, some of which are on Perp's panel on a regular basis, just pop up on various different live streams when they are neither being talked about, have no interest in the discussion. One unfortunate incident with some lady from the Texas direction. She ended up on a panel that wasn't even talking about her, and she kept trying to shout at them, which was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, because it was like the most accidental car crash situation of what? What are you doing? Why are you here? They didn't know, she didn't know, but she was very angry. It was a whole thing. So yeah, possibly a little led on by certain other people, I would imagine. Miss Colleen has definitely got a bee in her bonnet about the evil circle jerks and about how they mocked her and how they made fun of her voice. I know that's terrible. Of all the things you guys have heard on the YouTubes, teasing someone because of their voice has to be the most horrific thing, correct? I mean, there's nothing worse than that.
No, not at all.
No,
Unthinkable.
it's quite terrible, really.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it in my life, to be honest.
I'm actually quite surprised it is not even entered on the YouTube terms of service or in the Bible for that matter.
Well, I think on that note, Susan is furiously rewriting the muggles of the YouTube terms of service just because of Circle Jerk. And if you aren't aware where the muggles and the terms of service are, if you could all pop by Pooh's channel at some point, hopefully I might get a chance to squeeze that into the video. There was a whole educational section on the YouTube terms of service. It was quite illuminating, and apparently somehow connected to Harry Potter, amongst other things. Yeah. Okie dokie. So. Nope. I pressed the button too soon. Panic, panic. Right. Hopefully for my next little explanatory video. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. I frightened myself. It wouldn't move. It was hiding over the top of all of the buttons. Because, I mean, that makes sense for it to sit there, right? Okay, so panic over. But this next little video features some very unfortunate characters. Evil, evil people. One is a very dodgy South African who appears to control the entirety of Africa.
Oh.
I think you could go to any of her live streams and you would be able to pick out an absolute litany of the amount of people she has dragged stream after stream. It's just terrible. Alternatively, I think it's Griffey. It's
So,
possibly.
so I think I should go through a name change like Unseen. Maybe call myself the drag queen of Africa.
I think people would be expecting a very different situation. You might be selling something you can't produce there, but you never know. um, we could get a whole new audience. It would be nice. As well as the lovely Griffey. Then you have her lunatic stalker, Ooh-wee. She's just a wicked, evil witch, apparently. Not actually a tiny Ewok, but a witch.
A wee witch.
A wee witch, yes. That's very important. And then we had a visitor in the form of Colleen Drinky Drink. And we're going to listen to the absolute travesty of a parody that was done, which was just a bit of a laugh and a giggle. And I'll let you make up your own minds just how horrific you find this entire situation. If you need Susan's email, I'll help you out. We can write to her. We can complain about the Griffey and the tiny Ewok witch person and, handle it from there, really. I think that's all that we can do. Oh, I've done something very weird. Bear with me. Ah. Okay. I don't know what the heck happened there. That was frightening. This is what happens when you get an evil witch to push buttons. Terrible, terrible things happen. Broomstick gets in the way, the cat is standing on the play button. There's just all sorts of unfortunate things that are occurring. Right. That was nice. I sang you a wee song and everything.
Because she's just a.
Right,
Yes, we
darling.
can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I heard
I
you were
hear you
very
being
upset.
horrible about Heidi. Because she's just accused you of something.
I don't think
Well,
Heidi likes me, Colleen.
Well, I'm sure Heidi's right. Heidi's very rarely wrong, you know. Very, very rarely. I mean, okay, she's got a minge like a butcher's dumpster. But you can't blame her for that.
Um, I wasn't going to mute that until the end, but that is one of my favourite moments of the entire thing. Heidi has a minge like a butcher's dumpster. Now, I know some of my American friends might not be on the terms of what the word minge actually means. If you need any help, ask Griffy. She is the root of all evil and will explain all of the things. Um, but yeah, Heidi has a minge like a butcher's dumpster. Perfect, perfect. It encapsulates the whole situation without you even realizing you needed it. You're welcome.
Very welcome.
Poor old girl.
She has to work with what she's got. Um, I'm sure it hasn't been seen recently either, so there's that we can be grateful for. Um, I, I, have you sent any PayPal's or Cash Apps recently, Colleen? Drinky drink.
I can't seem to get it to work. No matter how many times they show me and they tell me, I just can't seem to do it. Which is
Uh,
good because I've got no intention of sending them any money anyway. It's just, I like the attention.
I know, how many cans of special brew could you buy down at Asda for the same price of a $5 super chat? I mean, quite
Wow,
frankly,
you're
that's
assuming that I pay for them. I mean, there's no need to pay for them. If I've got my big coat on, I just shove them in my pockets and off I go.
that's only after the prison pocket is already full with the miniatures,
Yes,
you
the
know.
warm pocket is always the one that you fill first.
So, dear Colleen Drinky Drink, do you believe for a minute that dear wee Frosty Ewok is lovely 15, being a some or other UK person yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't much like Wee Frosty because she's horrible to Purple. She's horrible. So I don't care. But even me, I've got to acknowledge that Lovely 15's got an Essex accent. And, Wee Frosty's obviously Scottish. So I don't know how they're confusing them.
Um,
I mean, it's
do you,
like you being Australian and them thinking that you're English. It's ridiculous.
G'day, you bastard. Um, do you think, Colleen, that maybe how many Cash Apps or PayPals do you think it will take for the Snake Pit to accept you as one of their own?
Well, you mean promises of cash apps? Because I've got no intention of sending any.
I would wager at least Cindy's other Venmo credit card.
right,
Yeah,
right.
does anybody have Cindy's phone number? Because I'd really like to get in touch with Cindy. Because I think we could really get along. Especially if she gives me a social security number.
Oh my god, can you imagine? I'm sorry to hear that you were poorly recently, Colleen. I think most people would have empathy towards that. But do you not find it surprising that your new friends didn't know you have an adult son and grandchildren when I knew that? And the reason
Do
I
you
knew
know?
that is because you said that on their panel.
Yeah,
That's how I
the
knew that.
first time I went up, I made it very, 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 very clear to them that I was deeply upset by the fact that I didn't get to see my grandchildren because my
Yes?
son's a bastard and he
Bastard.
won't let me. But then I sort of forgot that, and the next time I came up, both my children were dead, which was a bit of a surprise. But there you go, nobody noticed, so we carry on.
Well, there
What
is
in
that wee
hell?
psychic dude that hangs about in the chat.
Oh,
He's been able to
Colin.
keep a yes.
Colin, yeah. Colin's a great shag, you know. Phone sex with Colin
Oh
is
God!
absolutely immense.
Oh God!
The
Phone
bastard.
orgy.
Oh, you've seen Colin as well.
No, luckily, I'm not into that no more.
Oh,
I
do you like
tried,
to
but
drink from the fairy cup?
yes,
Oh, I'm
I
shocked.
like my muffins.
Wow, I'm speechless. So tell me more.
What?
Colleen, we're just a wee bit
Sorry?
confused. You used to be friends with you. You say you've watched Purple a lot, and then the first time you were on Purple's panel, you didn't know who Tony was. But then you went over to Tony's and did all your thing, and since then you've been anywhere and everywhere that you can get on panel, and even places that won't let you. Um,
I'm really
What?
annoyed by you. Why are you paying so much attention to facts? You're just meant to go along with it. I can't remember what I've said to one panel to the next.
that I have noticed this about you, Colleen. Yes. I have noticed that you don't really remember what happens one day to the next.
I don't actually drink, you know. It's just a great cover story. You know,
It's
sort of,
just a
when
happy
you mess up, you
coincidence.
just say, "Oh, I must have had a drink." That, or
Must
you
have been
blame it
shit
on
faced.
Tara.
Or Chris. She seems to be the scapegoat. Well, wait, ex-scapegoat for everything
Oh,
too.
the ex-scapegoat.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
I've heard that Chris is responsible for the recent death of the Pope.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
I heard that she made
I
a
also heard that Vintage was seen on the grassy knoll with a rifle when Kennedy was shot. Oh yeah, they're all in it. It's all a big conspiracy.
I knew she had purchased a book from that depository, and that is all the proof that we need.
That's that Tara in the chat. You're disgusting, Tara. You're disgusting. You're horrible.
Well, let me just say, Tangeray, you have my fullest permission.
I'm
There
sorry.
you have it.
I'm
I'm
not
alive.
staying here. I'm not staying here. If you're going to have Tara in the chat, no. I'm going.
No,
I'm going.
Colleen, don't worry. That's a fake Tara. That is a troll trying to. Oh,
Oh, look at what you did, Tara. Look at what you did.
Tara, look at that. You made our dear poor drinky drink hop off the panel and run her ass over to Liverpool.
Can somebody contact the local intensive carers in the area just to be sure? Because quite frankly, we're never sure. So if we just do a wee check. Yes. So now there's a couple of little points that need to be touched on there. One, I think you can all hear what my main problem was with being on the circle jerk panel, and that usually at least one of them, if not more, is making me laugh at the time, and I am not very good at hiding that, as you can hear, hence the hysterical like me. So that's a wee bit unfortunate. Sorry about that, everybody. But you know, what can you do? Colleen Drinky Drink is funny. She is funny because she is a parody of another person. Again, something that has been done on YouTube for a very long time. It's not new. It's not shocking. And to be frank, the way that it was misrepresented by certain people is the crazy part about it. It's almost like they missed the entire fucking point.
Yeah. Weird that.
It's so unfortunate that I don't even know if I have words for it most of the time that would be safe to broadcast anywhere. Um, but yeah, it's just no. It's everybody says things that are funny. We should be able to laugh at ourselves. We should be able to laugh at others. We are not laughing at deceased children. What was happening there was that we were laughing at the fact that Colleen has said it multiple times now that she has two deceased children, an adult son, and grandchildren, and that she had an estranged relationship with the adult son and the grandchildren. That information is not the shocking part. The shocking part is that the fact that she had kept saying this every time that she has been on a panel, and yet neither her good friend Perp nor any of the rest of the panels, nor any of the chat appear to have a memory of her saying that. That's quite a situation. But I knew because I have heard her say it. Griffey knew because she had
Yeah.
heard her say it. Pearl knew because she had heard her say it. It's almost like we were listening to what people say, paying attention. If you're not paying attention, Perp, to your own panel, that's your problem, love. That was the entire point of Colleen Drinky Drink. One, to mock the terrible way she speaks to people when she gets challenged, i.e., calling people names and much worse. And I mean that, much worse. There's a reason why I'm not playing that clip right now. But suffice to say, one day, Colleen was having an argument in a chat with somebody else about her dear Purple and about the terrible way that Purple was being treated. Very sad story, right? Very, very sad story. When it was being pointed out to her that that information was incorrect, Colleen got a little bit angry and told the person that she was having this argument with to unalive herself, except in not such a delicate fashion, and did so repeatedly. Now, I don't care who you are, what your life situations have been, if you're running around telling people to unalive themselves, you need to have a long, hard look at yourself. And quite frankly, not for the first time, Perp and her panel and her loyal little purple minions need to get a rein on things because once again, they are treating somebody like their prize pet, farming them out to here, there, and everywhere, telling them that no matter what they do, everything is just peachy. And I can guarantee you, Colleen is going to end up in that dumpster, courtesy of Perp and her panel. Because just like everyone else, she will be last week's news.
Sad but true.
Yep. There's also a very unfortunate situation where some people will know about it, some people won't. Where one of Perp's recent friendships broke up. And we'll cover that in hopefully some of the other live streams. For a very long time, she treated this person like a prize pet. No matter what they said or did was fine, no matter how outrageous at times or inappropriate, everything was just marvelous. Until, wouldn't you know it, suddenly it wasn't. Because one day it is turned round and aimed at Purple. It's fine whenever it's everyone else, but whenever Purple's getting a taste of her own medicine, there's not enough sugar in the world for that girl. And that's not a diabetic joke, Purple, before you get all feckin' crazy about the situation. You need to take better care of people. You have a responsibility. And as we're about to hear, there's a lot more that's going to pop up on Purple's attitude and how she treats everybody else. So yeah, now that you've all been shocked and appalled by that terrible, terrible performance on that evil South African's channel, we can move on to the delightful reaction of certain other people. As you can tell from my tone, it didn't go well. Okay, just before I start this, there is a little bit of preamble. This delightful audio is covered by the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, where alliances are made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, and research. So get out your handy dandy notebooks, everybody. We're about to have a whole education on mental gymnastics, general fuckery, and a complete lack of self-awareness. So on this live stream, the perp is somewhat irate at many, many different people. So she decided she was going to have an open panel. She even squeezed in an extra N into the word just to show how keen she was to have everybody up there to have their say, because we know that that would be a fair and safe situation for anyone with an issue with purple just to stroll in and take a link, right? Because we know that that works well. So let's listen to Little Miss Perp.
Further ado, some people just need to mind their business. I'm sorry, but I'm getting to the point where I don't care what I don't care anymore, and I'm going to say exactly what I'm thinking, and it's not nice. You know, I should not have to sit here day after day and listen to the lies and the bullshit and everything else that goes with it.
So there we go. The first little intro. Per little perp. It's a very sad situation where she is just having to listen to the lies and the bullshit every day, and she shouldn't have to, right? But where are you going to hear these lies and terrible things? Are people bringing them to you, the actual people with the issues? Are your phantom little screenshot team, are they bringing the issues to you? And as we'll find out later, oh my good lord, you need to start paying attention, Purple. You need to start paying attention, though.
Yeah, this is the second time already. I'm like kind of curious for strike three.
And just to refresh again memories, because we're trying to build a whole story to bring everybody along on this fun little whimsical ride of the Purple Wonka Factory. That a not so funny part of it happened only a couple of months ago. Some people will be aware that Brandy Neal, Michael Vaughan's mother, is a good friend of Purple and several other of her trusted team. Great. Happy for you. We all support Brandy. We may not all support Purple, but we all support Brandy. I think we all can get behind that. It's very obvious to see that's a woman doing everything within her power to both find her missing son and to keep the rest of her family in as healthy a situation as possible. And quite frankly, how she does it, I am not sure. She has my full admiration for that. It must be a very difficult and painful task. However, recently, while they were trying to search for Michael's location, there was some leaked information that came from law enforcement and had made its way onto YouTube. As a result, partly because people would not give law enforcement the time to deliver said information, partly because Brandy at the time was in Purple's channel while this was being discussed quite fervently by her ever so educated panel and chat. It led to a really sad and painful situation to witness. And to be honest, I hoped I would never see anything like it again. It was very sad. There was a snippet of information that was sent to Purple. Purple did not listen to this or vet the information. She just played it live to Brandy Neal, Michael Vaughan's mother, while she was on panel. For any of us that have worked in any sort of caring profession, you will have an idea of what it is like to watch somebody crumble in front of your eyes. And for most people in general, even if that hasn't been your career, we have all had sadness and pain in our lives that we could relate that to as best as we can. I truly had hoped when that happened, partly because I didn't think it was entirely Purple's fault at that time. It was just an unfortunate series of events. I tried to give the benefit of the doubt rather than rush to judgment as most of us can do. I tried to hope that she would do better in future. And as you will see from part of this clip later on, nothing has changed. The circumstances are less dire in this clip, but quite frankly, if you're relying on other people for information and they so often get it wrong, if you don't understand Purple, you and your panel and your little information gathering squirrels, if you don't understand that you could cause serious harm again to someone else, I don't know what to tell you at this point. I had hoped for better. I had hoped you would learn from that mistake. But no. Same shit, different day, right? You didn't learn anything. Despite the fact that you will repeatedly say it was one of the worst days of your life, you've learned nothing. You've changed nothing. You do the same thing. So it's only a matter of time until you truly hurt another person again. And it will be entirely on your shoulders.
To which she wouldn't care because morals is not a big thing for her.
Right? But as most of us find out in life, never mind on YouTube, once is an accident, twice is an on purpose. You're meant to learn, you're meant to do better. If a toddler can manage better decision-making skills than a grandmother, that's a problem. And again, a grandmother who is supposedly supporting the mother of a missing child. And she sees nothing wrong with that. Do better. Because you're letting yourself down, your friends down, every day that you do this. Every day. It's only a matter of time till something terrible happens again.
I'm over it. Everybody else can, talk however the hell they want to. So can I. So can anybody over here. And ain't nobody gonna silence us. Not now, not ever. If you don't like us, then don't be creeping and watching. It's that simple.
Well, now, aren't that some words of wisdom?
So, again, bringing us back to square one with this sorry little tale. Because quite frankly, I could do this version of a live stream every day. It is that dire. And it's not because I would be trying to pick on Purple, but quite frankly, some of these situations are so out of control, it's ridiculous. So, for your first example, we have Purple explaining how woeful it was that she has to listen to all this terrible bullshit every day. The lies and the bullshit. But she doesn't go to any other channels, right? So where is she seeing the lies and the bullshit that's happening? Where is this stuff happening? How are you finding out this information? Oh, somebody else must be giving it to you, right? Great, great. Watch it. Figure it out. Try to process that information. That's not what happens, everybody. What happens is we end up with a situation where Purple and her chat are now making the rules for YouTube. Okay? Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. Well done. Well done. Well done. You've all done so well. I'm very proud of you. You didn't even know it was happening, but it's a real treat. Purple and her trusted team are allowed to go wherever, whenever they so wish. Everywhere apart from Purple's channel, they can say whatever they wish. She will have nothing to say about it. No problem whatsoever. As long as it's not about her. Okay, great. However, if anybody who doesn't support Purple happens to watch her channel, you're being told to turn around and leave. You're not allowed to go there. So if we could all just take a wee second to wave to all of the lurkers that have very gratefully subbed up to me as a little baby channel. I want to thank you, Purple. I am very, very grateful. I would not have made it even this far if you had not been bitching and whining. And therefore, I've been able to get to the stream level that we're at already. It's amazing. It took you a couple of months. I'm very grateful for it. So yeah, keep going. Keep going. So hi everybody. Hi. Hi. How are you doing? How are you doing? If you could all just wave to the little glitter ninjas that are just twinkling their way around the chat. Do you see them all coming in just to ask questions and be engaged in the conversation? Do you see them? No, no, you don't. But they're there. Oh, they're there. So
You know,
yeah,
on that note, I have to thank her as well. I mean, this is the second time already she's made a complete ass of herself when mentioning Griffey's channel and how evil, evil bitches we are. Thanks for the subs, Burp. Ah,
yeah.
I would value them and treat them a ton better than what you do.
It's kind of funny, right? Because the person that Perp was so quick and excited to tell their now ex friend on how they were being so badly treated on Griffey's little hate channel. Yes, she said that. She said that. Um, is in the chat. Now, unlike some other people, there are those of us who try to behave like adults and don't just make friends and then throw them away and then make friends with my ex-friend's enemy now just to, piss them off, because that's a horrible thing to do, right? For most of us, it is. Most of us, we would have no notion of doing that. And yet, we're in the situation where a channel that has existed longer than Perps gets criticized because it didn't milk its channel members from Doug, no thanks, and the whole phantom nud situation. We'll go into that another day. We don't want to mix up the nuds and Colleen. That would just be a whole. Oh, none of us are ready for that. We can't. We can't. But yes, they now make the rules for the rest of us on YouTube, which is I thought was just amazing, really. I'm glad that they let us know now what we're allowed to do with our own time, our own money, our own devices, with the internet that we pay for. It's quite amazing, really. Quite amazing. And yes, Griffey is a little hate channel, apparently. Unlike Perp's fun, safe, happy place where all of the scapegoats have entirely fucked off, Griffey's channel is a fun, safe, happy place. It doesn't matter whether you joined last week or over a year ago. Everybody is treated with the same respect, the same love and care and attention. That's why we all have wrenches. Because nobody is more special than anybody else. There's no select few that are more important than anybody else. And I'm sorry that that upset you, Perp, so very, very badly. But suck it up, Buttercup. The witch is here. You're welcome. So yeah, let's listen to more of the rules.
You know? And you can obviously tell, who's on what side. Which there shouldn't be a side. I've never asked for people to be on a side, but the other side has. Oh, if you're over there, you don't come here. You're not wanted. Like, seriously, we're grown ass women and men. We can make our own decisions where we want to go. And if we want to come over, and hang out for a little bit and listen to what I got to say, and then go over to your side and then hang out a little bit and hear what you got to say. They're grown ass people. Get over yourself. You're not the only one on YouTube. So calm down.
Hello, Buckeye Mama. Hello, hello, everybody. I'm sorry I've been still very rude and not addressing everybody. It's because every time I look and realize there are actual human beings there, I get terribly frightened and start to panic. So
You're
ignore that.
welcome.
But I am grateful that each one of you are here. In the subsidiary We Hate channel. I'm grateful for it. So now that you're under the instruction of the evil witch, let's get down to business, shall we? Apparently, nobody else is the only one on YouTube. Did you know that? Did you know that? There's like more than one channel on the YouTubes. It's amazing. I know
Really?
your
Really?
entire mind is blown.
Really?
I know, right?
Whoa.
Just knowledge bombs the entire time. It's just quite the situation. So yeah, thanks for that little nugget there, Perp. Thank you. Thank you. Now, let's get back to some more rules.
It gets to be old listening to the same old fucking shit. The same old, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. You ain't no, the only damn thing you're a victim of is your damn self. So don't come at me and then call foul, because let me tell you something. Because I'm gonna come back. I already done told y'all it's down and dirty. I will go the lowest of the low and not even feel bad about it.
So there
Well,
you go.
that is a statement I can believe without any counter argument.
Well, from someone without any value for morals or education or any basic knowledge, really, what else can you expect other than being the worst of gutter tier humanity? And yes, I said that, Purple. You're welcome. You can take that little nugget and stick it where my broomstick is about to go. Because, quite frankly, there are so many people, and I am going to show them all. That is the entire point of my channel so far. To show how badly you treat people on the internet on a constant basis. It doesn't matter whether they say something that you dislike, whether they choose to no longer be your friend, whether you suspect them of something terrible. You just can't stop your little mouth from flapping on live stream twice a day, every day. But yeah, you're not the only one on YouTube. So thank you. And hi, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. How are you doing? I'm glad that you're here. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Unseen. How are you? Glad to have
Hi,
you.
hi, identity crisis. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Perp.
I know, God love her. I'm sure she twitches as soon as she sees any one of the circle jerks because she's got a whole situation in her head going on where they're like hunting her down or something, and It must be terrible to feel so persecuted, but then again, it could be worse. You could be Unseen's dog running along on a very unsafe treadmill.
I wonder if the poor thing is still squeaking.
But I'm pretty much sure. Well, I hope it's still squeaking because I'd be concerned if it's not. Um, I very much doubt she's fixed it. I mean, after all, Unseen, for somebody that was so feckin' uppity as to tell a new pet owner of a puppy how to behave, how to treat it, what to do, where to take it, where to go, and how to get there. For someone that is supposedly training dogs, you would know that a loose belt on a treadmill is more than unsafe. It's a hazard. Just like you, love. A hazard on the YouTubes. You're a hazard for your own dogs. The witch at work, everybody. You're welcome. You're welcome.
A hazard that can't even decide what her own name is from one week to the next.
Well, today she was Glass House. So, I mean, God love her. She can't even keep up with what her own name is, never mind anyone else. So, good luck, everybody. Good luck. Just pick a. And yeah, quite right. Purple is not the only one on YouTube. I know. See, look, we're all learning together. It's quite educational, really, fulfilling all the standards, all of them, of the Copyright Act, because this is research, education, and commentary purposes. You're welcome. See how I did
Hey,
that? I'm a pro. I'm a pro.
hey, do you think anybody's reported it to YouTube yet that Purple is not the only person on YouTube? I mean, they have to be alerted about this.
I just hope that Susan is not part of Perp's Discord because, quite frankly, the amount of rando screenshots she would get would be frightening, to be honest. So, I mean, it's anybody's guess. Maybe they'll find out eventually. God love them. They don't venture out too often. Not even outside to take their dog for a walk.
Hmm, yeah, just throw him on a treadmill and listen to him squeak.
Yeah, fuck it. Who cares if it's working or not? Who cares if it's safe? Who cares? It's fine. It's fine. It's only your prized dog, your loved pet. You know, the one that you're training to be a show dog, right? Right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Great work. How's that glass house going for you there?
At this point, it looks more like a lot of shattered, shatterproof glass.
Right. Let's find out some more rules of the YouTubes, everybody.
Oh, I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of, waking up to 30 damn notifications because somebody had to, somebody got a freaking giddy up in their step and think they're going to talk trash to me on my own damn channel. If you don't like it, don't come here and watch. You don't have to come here to watch and then, make comments and talk shit. If you're going to do that, you might as well just pop on the live and, say it in real time so you can get an answer sooner than later. I'm just.
Okie dokie. So if there's anything that you find querisome, objectionable, you would like to know more about, you can just take the link and pop on up. Perp. Perp will be happy to have you on her panel at any time. Except that's not the truth, though, right?
Nope.
Well, then why is she saying this? It's almost like she's barefaced lying again, right?
Yeah, funny that.
I mean, I don't know that to be entirely the case, but I'm getting a sneaking suspicion that that bullshit she keeps smelling is more local than she realizes, to be honest. It's funny how she obsesses about someone else's sanitary conditions in their home, and yet she's covered in it every day
Yeah.
by choice. It's quite unusual. So yeah, um, the only person I'm going to say, well, there's several people I would recommend not to do that because the very thing she wants is for people to pop up there so that she can either do what she did to me, which is act like she's just appeared out of the Glass Menagerie, the movie, and somehow not be able to respond to your simple question, conversation, anything really. No matter how many different ways I tried, how many different times, even when I was being empathetic towards her, when even her own friends wouldn't get up there to tell her, there, perp, it's okay. You didn't screw over a woman at her most vulnerable moment. I did genuinely feel bad for her at that point. That is no longer the case. And the only person that has made it that way is Perp. Not Griffey and her little hate channel. I know, she has tried. God love her. She has worked so hard with the hate channels. She has done video after live stream, all about Purple, all about Heidi, all about Unseen and her squeaky dog. It's been terrible, to be honest. That's why I'm taking over, because quite I couldn't take any more.
Yeah, I was just too extreme apparently.
Yeah.
So extreme that I managed to unhinge the wee wicked witch, who is wee frosty Ewok.
Hmm. Um, I'm not quite sure. The fact that these people aren't have only just learned, courtesy of Perp, that there's more than one channel on YouTube. I'm not quite sure that they're ready for the fact that people have multi-dimensional personalities. It's almost like some of us can react differently in different situations. But then again, if you're a basic bitch rather than a wicked witch, I can see how you would get that fucked up. But yeah, let's carry on with more of this very interesting video.
I'm over it, guys. I am just so over it. And that statement goes to anybody it pertains to. If you think it's aimed towards you, then put the shoe on and wear it. But you're gonna have lots of other, shoes that aren't on your feet. I'm just telling you that. I'm done. Shoes that aren't on your feet. I'm just telling you that. But you're gonna have lots of other, shoes that aren't on your feet. I'm just telling you that. I'm done. You all have done, acted a fool, and then you want to claim victim when somebody else, comes at you acting like a fool.
Now, I'm resisting my wicked witch tendencies not to go there straight away. But yeah, so the shoes on the other foot, you're going to put the shoe on, and then there's going to be more shoes. The shoes are going to be coming at you.
Revenge of the shoes.
Right? I mean, where do we work all of a sudden? Foot Locker? What's happening here? I'm not quite sure where she was going with that because she went so far off piste that quite frankly she got lost in her own avalanche. It was that has to be one of the most priceless moments I've ever heard. This entire clip that I am playing is like the little gift that keeps giving. I'm like, oh, so the shoes on the other foot. Remember putting the shoe on, and then there's going to be more shoes, and the shoes are coming at you. Okay, where are we getting all these shoes? Why do we need all the shoes? What's happening with these shoes? Is it
Well,
just one shoe? Is it left shoe or right shoe? Are there
well,
pairs of shoes?
quite possibly it could be that evil little hate channel and the wee wicked witch throwing the shoes at her. But that's the only way it makes sense to me in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, quite it could be arranged at this point because when I heard that, I felt like grabbing a shoe at that moment just to see how it would work out because I was like, "Whoa, what? Wait, you're what now?" So yeah, all the shoes. We're going to get all the shoes. You're allowed to go wherever you want on YouTube as long as you're aware that you're not the only channel, but you're not allowed to go to Perp's channel unless you agree with her. And if you do disagree with her, or if you have any questions, you then have to drag your ass up on panel immediately so that you can get an immediate response. Because I think most of us know, no matter what silly little games Perp and her shoe collection are playing, that you don't get a response no matter how politely you ask a question in the chat, no matter how respectful you are, everybody ends up getting treated like dirt. Even the people who are, on a routine basis, kind to all the other chat members and to Purple, they still get treated like the bullshit that she keeps smelling.
Yeah. Even members.
Do you think the bullshit is in the shoes? That
Quite
would be
possibly.
that would explain it. That's a bad day when you've got bullshit in your shoes. Terrible things have happened there.
Well, there are probably a lot of fields there in Moline, aren't there? So quite possibly she stepped in all the bullshit with all the shoes and had an attack of the nose in some way where she didn't smell it upon her return.
Well, that would explain all that unexplained mucus on a constant basis. For the love of God, learn to mute your mic or buy a box of tissues, or preferably both. Do
Yes.
both. Try that. Try that. See how it works out. And
Yes.
again, not for my benefit, but for the people who actually do like you. They don't want to listen to your mucus. I'm
And
pretty sure.
please blow your nose. Don't pull it all in reverse.
the oh my lord.
We,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, on a regular day, we're struggling to figure out whether she's snoring or snorting.
Well,
It's just, mm,
it keeps it interesting because it saves all that time between your nose if you can fill it in
uh,
with bodily fluids. You know what I mean? You might as well, you might as well just fill in
you
with the
know,
snot.
you know,
Um, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it makes sense, you know?
Yeah, you're way too. Both of us are way too perky to pull that off. We would need to. We would need to like do a few hours on that rickety treadmill first, and then come back. So now that we have avoided the mucus and the bullshit, and apparently a lot of shoes, uh, let's carry on.
Like, how does that work? And it only works for some people, but not everybody. No, that's not the way it works either. I'm just over it, guys. I sure the hell am. I'm gonna show you how much of a bitch I can be. And all the fucking threats and all the other bullshit that's come through my phone. I ain't got time for your dumbass if you ain't gonna tell me who I'm talking to.
So,
So now we've got bullshit coming through the phone as well,
hmm,
which, I mean, it sounds like terrible, terrible things are just happening there, in the cornfield. Um, I mean, I grew up on a farm and I never had bullshit come through the phone.
nope.
Um, I'm not quite sure whether she needs to see a doctor, an electrician, or a vet,
A
but
podiatrist, possibly a urologist.
a chiropodist.
Look those up, Purple. Google. It's easy.
But yeah, so apparently all these people with the shoes are issuing threats. I don't know if the threats are attached to the shoes, whether they're separate from the shoes, whether the shoe is part of the threat. I mean, because you could do damage with a shoe depending on what kind of shoe it is. Um, but there's a lot of things going down over there at the cornfield. It's getting interesting. Um, I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. There's bullshit coming through the phone, shoes everywhere, people
Bullshit.
finding out about the internet,
Finding out that Purple isn't the only channel on YouTube.
right? The occasional squeaky dog.
The snorting in reverse.
hmm hmm Oh, and don't forget now we have constant eating to put up with as well. So just in case there was any fear of you getting any actual content or, planned information, it's just a constant amount of chewing, sucking up mucus, and possibly throwing shoes covered in bullshit. It's a great time. So if you haven't already and you would like to subscribe to her, please head on over to Purple Phoenix and yeah, she can keep you very entertained with all the shoes full of bullshit. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Apparently, they,
just
yes,
don't mention that we sent you, because that would cause an eruption from Heidi telling you which direction you can F off in.
tell her the directions were written on the bottom of a shoe. She'll understand. It'll make perfect sense at that point. Yes, the clicking of a pen, the nail tapping as well, the false nails that have been on for 2 months now, but let's not talk about that either. Um, I mean, it's there's just a lot, and yes, the secret squirrel as well, apparently. Um, it's a very angry squirrel, but to be honest, if I think we need a little bit like JSB's cat, we need to rescue that squirrel. Um, we need to start a GoFundMe or something to liberate the squirrel. Because yeah, otherwise Unseen will have it on a treadmill before tea time, and we haven't got time for that. You know, that's just a whole animal welfare situation that none of us are ready for, to be honest.
Well, maybe the GoFundMe will be such a roaring success that you and I will be able to fly into Moline Airport and go and rescue the wee little secret squirrel ourselves. I'm sure that Purple will be ready, waiting with cakes and tea and everything for us.
Yes, in her favorite crinoline skirt, just primped and preened like a proper little Stepford wife. Um,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know whether she'll have both shoes on at the time or whether there will be more than two shoes. So that could keep it interesting. You may have to make room in the car amongst the shoes. Um, yeah, you might just have to squeeze in and hope for the best at that point. You
Yeah,
could cable tie you to the roof or something. It'll be
that's
fine.
okay. That's okay. I've been exercising. I think I can hold on.
That's fine. I'm only wee. So I mean, you'd be able to squeeze me onto the wing mirror, no problem. The wicked wee witch that I am. I'll be able to wave my magic as we go through traffic. It'll be glorious. So
Yes.
let's do some more, shall we?
Stop being a chicken shit scared little bitch and, put your big girl panties on and, buckle up and call me. I'm so tired of being accused of shit that I had no part in. So, but I hear one more thing about it, and I swear I will be all up in it. All right, guys, hang on. I'm gonna switch to the phone so I can go in the garage and smoke. Hold on.
So there you go. You're now officially on notice, everyone, that anything you can do, she can do better. She can do anything better than you.
I'm
I
start
was
singing.
almost I was waiting for her to burst into song, and I would have like this that would have made sense at that point. I was like, come on now, make an effort. But apparently she didn't get $17,
Woo!
and therefore no songs. It was terrible. There was
But
mucus, there was a lot of knows, but no songs.
but I happened to notice something which brought up a question.
Yes.
The fact that Purple is so fascinated with big girl panties and having them on, is there any possibility that her big girl panties are so tight that that ends up being the bullshit she's smelling?
Um, I would suggest it's quite plausible. I mean, it would explain a lot of things if some sort of cast iron chastity belt has been fitted at some point, despite her apparently overexcitable need to tell us how often she sleeps with her husband. I mean, great. Proud of you. Go girl, do your thing. But none of us need to know about it. I don't care. The fact that you
Yeah,
need to tell anybody makes it seem like you're full of the bullshit that your shoes are full of, right?
I mean, some of us could have gone our entire lives without knowing that.
Right? You'll never look at Costco the same way again. Every single time you do, you can imagine Purple getting down and dirty, just all sweaty and grinding, giving it loads. You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Wee. If it was at all possible for me to be more of a lesbian than I currently am, you have just achieved it with that very vivid image.
Hey, Heidi! Hey! Hey!
Although, the idea of Purple doing it might just make me straight. And now I gotta look from Stella.
Yeah, I think we've all cancelled everything from now on. I think that's it. We're just finished. It's like, no, fine. Just leave us out of it after this. We're done. We're done. So, with her big girl panties on, 40 pairs of shoes, not sure whether they're actually pairs or not, but again, we'll hope for the best. Hope for the best. Um, uh, strongly smelling of bullshit, and apparently having threats thrown at her, and more bullshit coming through the phone. It's no wonder she's always in such a terrible mood, right? Huffing and puffing and blowing like some sort of asthmatic pug on a daily basis. Blow your nose, sit up properly, take a deep breath, and speak. If you weren't chain smoking in your garage, you and the squirrel, you would be able to speak more than 4 words but without getting out of breath. Give it a wee go. See what happens. At the very least, your shoes will not smell of cigarettes. So there's that. So let's find out more about Purple's happy situation.
All right. I'm just over it. Over it, over it, over it. People need to understand. They've pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Well, now this is the person they're going to get.
So again, just to keep you all abreast of what's happening, and just to help you along there, Heidi, with your wee notes. Purple isn't choosing to do any of this by herself. She is entirely controlled by the every whim of the internet. Absolutely zero choice in what she says or does on a daily basis. She's being forced to do this, guys. I mean, have some compassion. If you were having shoes thrown at you constantly, combined with a squeaky dog and Harper's nuds, quite frankly, you would be chewing your own snot, I think, because what else is there at that point? Life is finished. Why bother? So it's not her fault, guys. Not her fault. We made this happen. Sound a little bit manipulative or abusive to anyone, possibly? I didn't want this. You made me do it. I didn't want this to happen. But now that you did that, you have left me no choice. What age are you, Purple? 4? Let's carry on.
You were trashing me over on Griffey's channel? Well, cool. That's okay, Lenny. I don't care. Well, this was yesterday.
So, again, just to keep you up to date there, Heidi. Come on, chop chop. One of the scapegoats has escaped. It escaped all over the YouTubes. It escaped everywhere it wanted to go because it's it's an adult. It can do what it wants. Yo. See, I remembered. It might have been a couple of weeks ago, but I remember all that lingo that we once learned.
Mm-hmm. Lit, yo.
Mm, don't light the goat. That would be a bad idea. Don't stop interfering with the goat. Now, this particular goat is one of her favorite scapegoats. And this scapegoat is yet another one of the people that had some form of friendship with the perp and is now apparently an entire demon. Dun dun dun. I'm not quite sure whether the goat had shoes on. By the time we get to the end of this, we're going to have quite the monstrosity of a screenshot. I'm just telling you. But yeah, this particular goat had the audacity to do exactly what Perp has just demanded and express her opinion in Perp's chat. And yeah, you can hear how that's going. Perp doesn't care. She doesn't care. But she was the same goat was spotted over in the We Hate channel. Sorry, Griffey's We Hate channel.
Yes.
And that is obviously an unfortunate moment for the goat because the goat is now going to be terminated because of it. You're not allowed to go there. Nobody told the goat they couldn't go there. The goat didn't ask for permission. Strangely enough, it just went where it wanted to go, and that's a problem now. Maybe you can tell Unseen that. Tell Unseen to stay in your channel and hers. There you go. She can have how many? 3 different channels? 4?
Yeah. With all her
28?
different personalities.
And all the shoes to match.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's carry on with Perp insulting the goat.
So, you were trashing me yesterday. Okay. That's cool. You. Awesome. So, Lenny, you don't seem to be, very honest. You seem to be a little two-faced, in my opinion.
Okay. So, what had happened was the goat had decided to say that they had expressed their opinion. They were not part of either side, as Perp keeps wanting to claim that people are on. I'm not quite sure when we got badges or uniforms, but it obviously happened at some point. Maybe we'll get some of those shoes to go with it. But the goat had the audacity to say that they have said what they had to say. They're not on anybody's team. They're just doing their own thing.
Mhm.
Terrible, right?
Yeah, unthinkable.
Right? Aren't you all just shocked and appalled by this disgusting scapegoat and its terrible, terrible opinions?
Bad
I'm
is scapegoat. Bad, bad.
I see what you did there. I see what you did. um, I wasn't aware that one of the goats would upset Perp so badly. It's almost like it's quite the opposite of what Perp is saying again. Almost again like she's lying when she says that she doesn't care.
Mm,
She must care terribly if somebody's in that We Hate channel over at Griffey's, right? That's a
yeah.
terrible thing. Terrible. Evil. With all the wicked people. So let's see the further adventures of the goat.
You know. Hmm. Wow. I mean, I'm not really surprised, but whatever. It's funny how everybody else can sit and trash me and talk shit about me, but the minute I respond to it, I'm in the wrong. How does that work?
Hmm.
Further adventures of the goat. So the goat has had again the audacity to say, Perp's own words back to her, has had the audacity to remember what she's said at times, and that's a terrible, terrible thing. We can't be having that. No, 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 no. But I'm the wicked witch, right? Right?
Mhm.
Um. So Perp's having this whole conversation with the goat. The goat can't actually speak back. Goat's in the chat. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a totally fair and balanced situation, right? Not
Yeah,
at all
she.
like any other big creator or semi big creator that we may know in our community who does the same thing and, you know, speaks to people like they
Mm,
are a shoe filled full of bullshit.
yeah.
Um, it's almost like she's trying to be them. Well done, Perp. Well done. You're copying somebody else. Very, very mature. you've excelled at your mimicry way more than Pearl's parody ever was. And quite frankly, I hope it leads you on to the joy and success that you wish. Let's see how that goes.
How the fuck does that work? Hell, everybody, there's several channels that's been trashing me, but if I respond, I'm the bad one. Oh, Purple's nothing but drama. Like, seriously, how the hell does that work? Can somebody explain that to me? Like, seriously, I need to know this. Why is it okay for every other channel to trash me and bring my family into it, but as soon as I do it, I'm like the worst person on YouTube?
The worst person on YouTube. Dun dun dun. I mean, this isn't the person that said, if you say anything about me, do anything, I'll do worse. Anything you can do, I can do better. With all of the shoes. None of the goats. The goats have fucked off. I think you've got that now. We've got your goats, Perp. We've got your goats.
Mm-hmm.
They're happy.
All the scapegoats.
Yes.
They will form part of our scapegoat army, and with them we will rule the YouTubes.
Right. It's quite the situation where she somehow thinks that she never says anything about anybody. People are always just talking about her first.
Ain't that weird?
Yet, that's not the way that's actually happening. Sorry. Take notes, Heidi. Take notes, all the screenshots, all the videos, because she's going to need them in order to try to understand this. The reason, dearly beloved and beloved ex-scapegoat, excuse me, how dare I, ex-scapegoat. The reason we are gathered here today is not to get married, thank God. It's not to try on shoes. But it is to try to bring some awareness to this terrible situation of Griffey and her We Hate channel. In fact, if one of the mods could pop in Griffey's link, if you aren't already, I know a lot of you are and I love you for it, but if you aren't already subbed up to Griffey, head on over there and then you can witness on a twice weekly basis, usually, the terrible things that unfold there. I mean, I could explain them to you, but you have to witness it for yourself, really. You have to be part of it. You wouldn't understand otherwise. I mean, it's almost like it's a figment of Perp's imagination, quite frankly. But there's only one way you're going to know. So if you all head over to that evil, evil little hate channel, the lovely Griffey will meet you there twice a week. And we will do terrible things, such as laugh. I know, shocking, shocking, terrible. So while we're laughing, it doesn't sound like in this entire time that Perp's doing much of the laughing, much of the joking, much of the hanging out and having fun, checking how people are, No, it's a lot of talking shit about people. But like a couple of other creators, she just doesn't have the balls to mention people's names because she thinks that that's going to save her hide at some point. No, we're going to use your hide to make some more shoes.
For
Because at
the
this,
scapegoat.
right? I mean, that would be perfect. Perfect. Very on brand. So let's tune in to the further adventures of Perp and the scapegoat, and hopefully some more shoes.
I mean, I don't get it. I'd really like an answer to that from, somebody on the other side.
Slightly unexpected pause here. Hello? Hello? Is there anybody there? Hello? Is there anybody on the other side? Hello? If I send you a PayPal, will you talk to me? Hello? Hello? Oh, apparently there's nobody. Oh well. Let's carry on.
Lenny, by these comments, you are a mean, evil person. You really are. And you can't even take responsibility for what you did. You guys are over there freaking, torturing Colleen on panel. Are you fucking kidding me?
So yeah, for somebody that's so up on the YouTube terms of service, I'm not quite sure where the perp thinks that torturing people on panels is accepted. I'm not quite sure if it's some sort of crucifixion situation, some sort of dungeon, whether there's equipment provided other than shoes, obviously. But I don't know when you did that stream where you were torturing Colleen, Evil, Hate Channel, Griffey. Could you explain yourself, please?
Well, it doesn't come to mind, but considering I torture so many people on the weekly, it's kind of hard to remember a specific person.
It's just such common practice for you to abuse people daily that you've
Oh,
lost track.
oh yes. Well, at least that is according to Perp. Apparently, she has a wide and very extensive knowledge on what I do on the Wee Griffey Hate Channel and who all I torture on the weekly. So we actually need to ask her and her secretary Heidi to send us some notes so that we can catch up as well.
Um, it brings something else to mind. I hadn't thought of this earlier, but actually, now that we mention it, I think what has happened here is that the perp, possibly accompanied by 48 pairs of shoes, Heidi unseen, and a squeaky dog,
Hmm.
at some point they've peeped into my closet in Africa
Yeah.
and they've witnessed the interesting activities that happen there on the daily, and somehow they have twisted that in their head. It was such a mind-blowing event for them that they somehow think that that was your channel.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that happened on the OnlyFans, but not on the YouTubes.
Yeah, I mean, we only take footage of the red room from 50 Shades of Grey in on OnlyFans.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you, our room is far better than the 50 Shades version. We're not having that, but we're not accepting that as literature, never mind as any sort of BDSM situation. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. No, no, no. Um, yeah, it's almost like there was another situation recently where Perp and her cast iron big girl panties got all uppity, as she was saying earlier, all uppity, apparently thinking that Tony was thinking about Perp having sexual relations. Um, I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I don't even need to have a conversation with Tony unless that was an exceptional nightmare, which is very possible. Um, but I wouldn't imagine it was by choice.
No, I don't imagine that either.
Unless Plastercast is your kink. I'm having to choose my words so carefully there. And I mean, if that's your thing, and you've got another consenting adult, go for it. Do whatever you can safely. Um, but for most, I would imagine it's kind of a niche market, to be honest. So yeah, you can keep that one, Perp. You can keep that one to yourself. It's all right. Okay, so let's carry on with Little Miss Uppity Perps.
Then you got the people in the goddamn chat. Drinky, drinky, drink. Even Tara saying that. Wow. You guys are fucked up. Well, they're having a good old time laughing at somebody. Mm. But you wouldn't do that shit to Tony. Like,
So again, we're back to the whole sense of humor bypass situation, or just not born with one. Unsure which one that is, but whatever it is, she obviously doesn't have one. That's sad. Maybe we can get Buddy to do a GoFundMe for that, and we can purchase a sense of humor for Perp. We can sponsor a Perp for a day to leave the shoes behind and move on to some laughter and fun in her life, because my good God, you're miserable. Miserable. Life is hard enough. Learn to lighten up. Laugh at yourself. And unlike what you have just said, most people do laugh with their friends. Even when they're having very serious conversations, you can laugh at times. Um, I'm not quite sure why you think people don't laugh at or with anyone else. That it's just you and your poor shoe covered panel that are just so put upon. I don't know how you handle it, to be honest. It's no wonder you can't laugh. No wonder, really. Little Hate Channel, do you have anything to add there?
Um, well, I was just seeing Pooh's comment, and I actually wanted to remark on that earlier. You know, for somebody that claims to be getting so much on a regular basis, she does seem to be quite a crabby bitch, doesn't she? I mean, one would think with all the oh going on around there, she might have something to smile about. Is it perhaps because she's lying through her asshole with all the bullshit in the shoes? Or
Don't kink
possibly,
shame her, Griffey. Don't kink shame her at all. Now, come on.
or
Carry on.
possibly that she is not getting the satisfaction that she so desperately craves.
What I think you need to do there, Perp. Now, unlike you, who pretends that you have watched a lot of Rap's channel, we know you haven't. But maybe you could ask him about the rose. See if Rap will send you a rose, because quite frankly, I think at this point, the entire happiness and sanity of YouTube depends on that little piece of equipment. God bless nature. And I hope that it brings you the joy that you so sadly lack. Because Pooh is quite right. You're very, very unhappy. Very unhappy. Is he just not hitting this spot? I know it's difficult with the cast in the way for you to do your daily gymnastics, but quite frankly, you should be well practiced at this point. But if you get one of those wee roses, that'll help you out a treat. It'll save Mr. Perp a lot of effort. Possibly some mucus, but we'll save that to another point. I didn't say that. Let's go.
We need to add some batteries to a wish list for her, I think, along with that rose.
Some KY.
Mm, always a good idea. You don't want any chafing among the bullshit.
No, friction burns are a hazard, just like Unseen's dog situation, a complete hazard that you should really know better by now. So let's carry on with very, very unhappy little Perp, and I hope that you love my little picture of her because, quite frankly, that is entirely how Perp comes across to me. Let's have a wee look at her while she tells us all about ourselves.
You know, I still wanted to ask if that was in reference.
Of course. Well, I am a wicked witch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, apparently I've been outed. Nobody ever knew I had a sense of humor before. The fact that I can be nice to people and then, talk about funny things as well is a complete shock to her. Not to the rest of humanity, which is great, but um, for Perp and the shoe collection, they don't understand it at all. But sucks to be them, I guess. So
Mm.
let's carry on with our little glitter ninja.
Fucking for real. That lady has lost 2 children. So she's a grieving mother too. And y'all are gonna treat her like that? You guys are fucking pathetic. And fucking laugh about it? Ugh, I'm so fucking disgusted. Well, Lenny and Colleen could cry and say y'all being mean to me now. You are fucking sick in the head.
So what we have there is another I'm sorry, Sapphire. I'm sorry. You'll have to catch up. There's too much of me trying to explain that, and trust me, it's worth it. You won't think it is, but for this one occasion, it is worth you being clued in. You need to understand the scapegoats and the shoes, because they're gonna. I would imagine that's going to come up a fair bit. It's the only part of this that makes it tolerable. We're all terrible people. If you happen to laugh at someone who has lost a child. Now, unlike Perp, I'm not going to ask for a show of hands in the chat or in the cheap seats. Hi, Heidi. Hi. Hi, how you doing? Hi. I'm not going to ask people who has experienced that loss in their life. A lot of people have. Purple. Unlike your friend Colleen, not all of us have had decades to get over it. In fact, your ex-friend, the one that you berate on a daily basis, lost her teenage child 2 years ago. And for some reason, you don't understand the reason that drinky drink is important is again because it's mocking you. You're the one who entitles stream after stream and community posts and anything you can get your bullshit covered mitts on trying to drag someone who is obviously in the despair of grief. I'm sorry that they're not your friend anymore. I'm sorry. We can all see that it hurts you. We could all hear that it hurts you the day that you did a live stream and you were choking on tears. However, you can come back to me after I have done several months worth of live streams about Colleen, dragging her for filth on everything she says, does, anybody she has ever met, anybody she has been related to, as well as any tragedy that has been in her life. And then we'll talk. Until then, this wicked bitch has nothing for you. I will continue to be a witch if that is what is necessary, because somebody has to hold up the mirror to your awful face so that you see what is happening. I tried to be kind to you and do it as a normal conversation, and you couldn't manage it. You couldn't muster the energy. So here we are.
And the little hate channel will be here to back up all the bullshit from the rear.
Right?
Mhm.
And all of the spelling mistakes. Yeah. Let somebody help you. Nobody is mocking your lack of English ability, but quite frankly, you've been a streamer for over a year now. we all know Frosty doesn't want to do it anymore because you shat on her before. I don't know whether shoes were involved there either, but maybe you could ask somebody else to help you with your reading and writing. They could help you. That's what other people do. They ask for assistance. There is nothing to stop you there. In fact, Heidi has 2 degrees. You should ask her. She would be great. She would help you out a treat. Everything would be in caps and possibly misspelled at times as well. But she's got 2 degrees. There's nothing more you need to know. They're definitely only associate's degrees. But I mean, look, it's the same thing, basically. She never actually practiced one of them as a profession. But I mean, come on now. It's important. Very, very important. She's a
It's
lifesaver.
it's important.
Guys. So let's get back and check for the goats. I'm concerned about the goat.
Mm-hmm.
So you're bullying somebody. Wow. Hang on, I gotta take this call.
Okay, so just so that Heidi keeps up. Hi Heidi. Hi. The goat is temporarily safe
Mm-hmm.
because Purple is just taking an important call with a little nugget of information. Now, despite my very obvious lack of editing skills, I tried my best to cut out a lot of the 4-minute, 5-minute pauses, the coughing, the sighing, the prolonged amounts of misery and boredom. Just to give you the salient points of the conversation. Quite frankly, I have condensed an over 2-hour live stream into 20 minutes. And that's if you play it at regular speed. Without commentary. So this important call is going to give Purple a little nugget of information, and she's going to take that and go away and research the situation, come back tomorrow and tell us all about it. Let's find out how that goes.
All right, guys, I'm back. Well, I just actually found out some information that we're gonna have to go over. Because let me switch to. Let me mute this. I'll be right back. Okay. Ooh.
Okay, so she didn't take a few hours to research the situation or even a day. Didn't find out anything else about it. We're just fuck it. We're just going live. We're just going to do it right now. We're going to do it right now. Put all the business out on live stream because that works very well. That has definitely never happened before. It always works perfectly well for Perp. She can handle things on the fly, yo, because her stream is lit AF, fam.
Yeah, her shit is tight, yo.
um, I'm also a wee bit unsure what that noise was at the end. I almost wanted to play it on a loop over and over again where she goes, "Ugh." I think it was one of the shoes. That's the only explanation I can come up for it because yeah. All you hear is "Ugh." But yeah, she's gonna give you her valued insight. She's got all the dates.
Do you think there's a possibility that mm, was the bullshit happening in real time?
I mean, she was just on the phone. So maybe with the bullshit escaping from the phone as it does apparently, um, it would make sense to me, really.
Yeah.
More sense than the shoes, but yes. Um, again, it just sounds terrible. I'm concerned for the squirrel. Can we get the squirrel out of there? How do we liberate the squirrel? Do we need a crack team of squirrel freedom fighters who will maneuver their way in Mission Impossible style into that basement
In hazmat suits.
with some handy dandy wipes,
Yes. Um, Playing hopscotch over the bullshit.
breathing apparatus because there's just a fog of constant Jody Sue smog that is unfortunate. And liberate the squirrel. Liberate the squirrel. Apart from free the way, we're going to liberate the squirrel. We'll think up a punchier title, but I really think we need to do this. The live that this was on was open panel, um, with two ends. She was so excited she put in an extra end. She was all carried away with herself and full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's going to tell you a little bit like the nice lady on the 6 o'clock news in the evening. She's going to give you all the important details.
All right, sorry about that. Okay, so now I was just going through the comments on that live. I didn't have volume on, so I didn't know what was being spoke. I just seen the comments in the chat and seeing all the laughing and bullshit. Okay, right? Well, I guess Miss Colleen is not the person she said she is. And I've wondered why she hasn't been back in a while.
So again, just to keep us all together, the terrible, terrible live that Purple's about to tell you all about was the part that I showed you that Circle Jerks clipped from Griffey, that We Hate channel in Africa.
Yeah.
Uh, part of their live stream, the terrible things that were happening there. And not only was the scapegoat spotted over in the We Hate channel, Colleen, Drinky Drink, was also there. And she was spotted. And she is not the person Purple thought she was, everybody. Who did you think she was, Purple? What all do you know about her? Because you didn't know about her child. You didn't know about her grandchildren. She's told you a lot about her cat. Maybe the cat and the squirrel should make friends. I'm not sure. Maybe that would be a bad idea. I'm glad that you researched this, Purple, because this is about to go extraordinarily well for you, as it ever does. So let's find out about the terrible things that Colleen Drinky Drink was saying about Purple. I'm just glad that somebody brought this to her attention mid live stream and that Purple didn't check it, research it, read it, listen to it before
Yeah.
opening her mouth about it on a live
That
stream.
that must have been an extremely intelligent and very, very close friend for her
Right?
to just take it at face value. For the second time in a row,
Mm,
considering the little hate channel. Thank you
mm,
again, Perp.
yep. This goes very well for Purple when she does this. It goes very well. So yeah, let's find out the exciting adventures of Colleen Drinky Drink and how Purple was just shocked and appalled that she couldn't believe it. Everybody couldn't believe it over in the We Hate channel. How did Colleen get to Africa for a start? It's not just the goats that have escaped.
So I guess what's on this live that we're gonna listen to, we'll just have to slow it down or speed it up, so copyright reasons. I guess Colleen was trashing me and Heidi. So
Guys, I guess Colleen Drinky Drink was trashing and bashing, stalking, harassing, terrorizing Perp, Heidi, and their minor squirrel. And they had no idea. No idea. I mean, whoever told Perp about this was a very good friend. Very, very good friend. They really helped her out here. The whole way. It was amazing.
Again.
Yeah. But then again, what do you expect? With all that bullshit around the place, it's hard for her to tell what's what at this point. She's just fumbling around and hoping for the best. So let's find out all these terrible things Colleen Drinky Drink was saying.
she was in Susan's the other night. After everything we did for her. Yeah. So, and I guess she talks just fine, and said that how she's been driving us crazy about how to set up the PayPal and the Cash App, and I guess she just was doing that just to fuck with us.
I guess. I mean, I guess. Um I mean, that's a lot of guessing. There's so much guessing going on here. It's almost like she doesn't have a fucking clue what she's saying. But I mean, that's just my guess. What would I know, right? I'm part of the We Hate channel. I wouldn't understand. Purple hasn't told me what to say or any more other than the rules earlier. So
Yeah.
quite frankly, I can't think for myself unless Purple tells me. So, um,
And she forgot to send over the script that we're supposed to read. I mean, doesn't she realize that that normal post doesn't work all the way to Africa? You have to FedEx or UPS that thing.
right? I wonder, well, if she's able to get bullshit through the phone, I'm wondering if she would be able to deliver something that way, but, or at least in a shoebox.
Mm.
She's bound to have several at hand. Quite frankly, that squirrel must have an entire little hotel built for itself out of shoeboxes at this point. Um, so yeah, after all of the things that Perp, who knows barely anything about Colleen, has done for her, all of them, can anybody, even Heidi, in the tell me what all they have done for Colleen exactly? Apart from getting her into trouble, but apart from that, what all have they done for her that it would be so rude of Colleen to pop up anywhere else?
Oh, everything. Everything. They are even helping Colleen to fill her glass and to breathe on a daily basis.
No. We're professionals, yo. We know how to wade through the bullshit. Um, a lesser woman might be falling over shoes and struggling with the squirrel, but somehow we have managed the ability to not only laugh at ourselves and laugh at the funny things in life, and still have compassion for the sad things, but realize that just because a terrible thing has happened to you at one point decades ago does not give you the right to go round telling people to do away with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I could be way off base. Maybe Purple will let me know later, but she doesn't watch here. Nobody else watches here. None of Purple's subs are subbed here, apart from the ones that came up on my feed having subbed to the channel. So hi everybody. Hi. Hi. Um apart from you guys, don't I mean, I'm pretty sure that after this little performance where for the third time in as many months, uh on a live stream, no less, Perp has managed to not make just an ass of whoever is sending her this information, but an ass of herself as well. It's glorious. And there's shoes. Shoes for everybody.
Filled with bullshit.
After all the things they did for Colleen, how dare she? The audacity of the woman. Just rude.
Unthinkable.
Yeah. Almost unseen.
Almost unseen.
So let's check in back at Squirrel Towers and see what's happening.
So, and then I was told that You know how she says she has no children and, you know, both of her children were passed. I guess she slips up in the video and talks about her older sons and she can't see her grandchildren. We're gonna listen to all that as soon as I'm done smoking. I had to take 5 minutes to freaking calm down before I freaking. No, the person went up on panel. I'll be able to tell if it's her voice. So, love to love God, you're saying that it was Pearl that went up there as fake Colleen on panel?
Can you hear that, everyone? It's not the sound of a rabid squirrel trying to escape its concrete prison. It's not the sound of bullshit flying through your phone. What it is the sound of the penny dropping off Perp's head that perhaps the information that she was so faithfully given and the things that she was just told may not be quite right. I could be a dick right now and show you the names of her chat, and we could laugh at the unfortunate pitchfork wielding that was happening without many of them even knowing what was going on. It's almost like they will just take whatever she says and not question it, not even check.
No. For the second time.
I bet you weren't expecting to hear that today. The sound of a penny bouncing into bullshit. It's it's not something that hopefully happens in your life every day, but I hope you enjoy it. So let's get back here and we'll see how this goes. Oh, and by the way, it brings me to another one of the fabulous Pooh's videos. Just as an aside note, Colleen's screen name is Colleen, aka Lovely 62.
Lovely.
Now, very recently, there was a recording of a call played with Pooh's expert video editing skills that, quite frankly, I need you to teach me at some point because, as you can see, I'm none too good at this. But for some reason, they have decided that I am an English person. At this point of my YouTube existence, in the past year and a half, apparently I have lived everywhere from Tennessee to London, Africa,
Essex.
Liverpool,
Scotland.
I mean, it's I've been doing some miles. Those frequent flyer miles for this wee walk. If it wasn't on my own broom and was flying with a commercial jet, I would have free flights for a year, quite frankly. but the broom gets me everywhere I need to go. But they'll hear the difference, right, between Colleen Drinky Drink that she didn't even know was a thing a wee second ago. Now she will, her and her trained ear, the person who hasn't even listened to the woman whenever she was on her own panel, she's going to know the difference on whether it's Colleen or whether it's Pearl pretending to be Colleen, as has been helpfully suggested by a member of her chat who happened to be obviously lurking. Hi, how are you doing? I could call you out, but I'm not going to shame you right now because at least you tried to correct the absolute car crash of a situation that was happening here. Yeah, it's going very well. Very well. I hope that those shoes have a few pairs of Nike amongst them because, girl, you need to catch the fuck up. So let's have a little listen to that terrible, terrible panel. But Perp's going to, just play it a little bit quicker because that'll apparently meet terms of service. You know it doesn't, right, Perp? You know you have to actually add commentary and reform the work that was shown. I mean, if I can do it, why can't you? You tell us all how to YouTube, right? So you should know all these things by now, of course. But anyway, let's get back to bullshit squirrel tars and catch up with the breaking news. Da da da.
Oh.
The one from last night or yesterday. Yeah, it was Griffey's channel. Right? We're going to be able to tell. That's just crazy. All right, let's listen. Here we go. Yeah, that's not Colleen.
So, you know, yeah.
You know.
Good God, woman. Good God. Good God. Merely a few words into a sentence, which shows you again that the delightful Perp had not listened to this at all before she played it on live stream. You know, she's going to be one of those edgy react channels, right? Because that works out really well unless you're on your toes. And we all know with all of those shoes lying around covered in bullshit and squirrel shit, the Perp is definitely ready for this. She's going to handle it. Her and her crack team of researchers have got their fingers on the pulse of the squirrel. And they're going to get to the bottom of all this, because the rest of the entire internet was confused. Everyone else was confused. Not her channel. Everyone else was confused. So now that we've got to the bottom of that, let's listen to this investigation unfold. And because it is the content of the little hate channel that she is playing, I'm going to slow the audio back down, so that then hopefully Griffey and I don't sound like tiny little chipmunks. Quite so
like
much.
the squirrel in the wall.
Right? Show us your nuts.
I carry my nuts on my chest. Thank you very much.
Let's get back to Sherlock Perp and see how she gets on with the investigation of the missing scapegoat. Da da da.
Ooh.
So I was right with the first assumption that they were making fun of her. Yeah, that is Pearl. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Investigation over, everyone. The case has been cracked. She was right. She didn't lead her entire chat to believe a story of bullshit. Once
Oh
again.
no.
No. How dare you? I mean, quite frankly, if it wasn't for the gaslight in here, we would all be sitting in the dark. So what she's going to do now is try to, once again, mind fuck her own chat. If it wasn't so pathetic, it would be hilarious. That's why the shoes were so funny. They were literally the funniest part. With the rest of this interesting performance now on how she tries to furiously backpedal on a squirrel's unicycle out of all of the shoes and bullshit to try and get a handle on this. I mean, it's a good job that her good friends helped her out with all of this, right? I'm just glad that they were watching the Little Hate channel. It showed a lot of things that we couldn't have done in such small an amount of time, to be honest. And again, I did cut out a lot of the huffing, puffing, silences, the clearing off altogether that she does, leaving her channel, coming back. Because quite frankly, we would all be old and dead. But now that we have got to the unraveling of the missing goat story, and that we have cracked the case that is indeed Pearl and not Colleen, that they have done so much for, her and Heidi, that they have done so much for. They know so little about her, but they've done so much for her. that we're now going to defend the honour of the person who they will hang out to dry in the very near future.
And
So,
almost did.
oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, after everything that Perp has done, can you imagine?
Mm,
Can you imagine, everybody? I mean, none of you
scandalous.
would do that. Have the lack of moral fortitude to trail yourselves up on the edge of your stiletto-toed feet, like the little scapegoats that you are, onto a panel and speak for yourselves. Quite frankly, how the rest of her chat, including you, Heidi, take the hint that this is what is waiting for all of you in your future. It has happened to so many in the past. Tony, Tara, most of the tavern. So many people that we will uncover as time goes along. But again, tonight we're just focusing on the shoes because we've all got lives. We can't do everything at once. So let's go back to the unfucking of the goats.
You guys are fucked up in the head. All of you. Let's listen a little more.
I'm sure it hasn't been seen recently either, so there's that. We can be grateful for.
Oh, we Frosty's of course. She's a hateful witch too.
Sent any PayPal's or Cash Apps recently? Colleen, dirty trick.
I can't seem to get it to work. No matter how many times they show me and they tell me, I just can't seem to do it.
Yeah, that's not Colleen's voice. That's Pearl. Let's see. Let's keep going. Because yeah, that's not her. That's not Colleen.
No intention of sending the anybody anyway. It's just, I like the attention.
Yeah, that's not.
Now, how many cans of special berry could you buy down at Asda for the same price of a $5 super chat?
And we Frosty, she's just as fucking evil and fucked up as the rest of them. Yeah, that's definitely Pearl.
Way, you evil, evil witch.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? We, you evil, hateful little witch, you. It's almost like you don't give a shit because you titled your stream to take the piss. You evil, evil little witch. I thank you. I thank you.
Thank you very much.
As you can see, accents are not my talent. So, quite frankly, if I was going to do anything on the internet, trying to mimic an English person for the best part, and yeah, like Africa, there's only one. They only have one accent. I mean, there's no difference at all in the entire feckin' country. It all just sounds the same.
Yeah, we all speak exactly the same with all our different accents in all 11 languages that we have.
Right?
Unthinkable that one person would sound different from another.
Right? I mean, if only she put as much energy into, you know, checking any of this out, perhaps seeing what other English people, amongst others, but in this particular case, I'm about to mention an English person, and there's a reason why there's no link or screenshot. Enchanted Life Path has a very eclectic channel. Not my particular cup of tea, but again, not judging. Unlike Purple, I'm not going to tell you where to go or what to do.
After telling you where to go and what to do.
But while you're there, if Purple spent a little less time getting research about the little hate channel that really couldn't give two shits about you or your fucking squirrel.
Yeah, very true.
And perhaps paid attention to the people who are saying some very unfortunate things about the very case that is meant to be so dear to your heart. You asked earlier why people were constantly bringing drama. Why is it okay for everybody else to do drama and not me? Most people probably don't realize that once upon a time, Purple's entire channel, well, pretty much 90% of it, was titled Daily Dose of Drama, which is fine. But her chosen section of drama was basically the shit talking on YouTube, right? Interesting. No receipts, it was just her talking while an icon moving. And again, we'll save that little nugget for another day. But when Perp wants to know why people think she is mostly drama with just a tiny dab of true crime on the top of that bullshit pile, is that's because that's what you have built your entire channel upon. No research, no effort, no homework. You built your channel off the back of other channels. I was nice to you the last time I did a stream. I gave you compliments, and I still mean them. You were a good moderator. You were. But as far as a content creator goes, unless your content is Car Crash 101 covered in bullshit
In
and
shoes.
with half of a squirrel in a shoe, I don't think you're quite hitting the mark that you think you are. But sure, keep talking. If when the very person you think you're going to throw shade at is Griffey, that's hilarious to all of us in the chat. Griffey doesn't need to say anything right now.
Except love.
Except laugh. Yes, you're allowed to laugh. Because quite frankly, just like your research and your crack team of information providers and screenshotters, it shows the level of effort you're putting into this. None. Why aren't you going after the channels that are saying very unfortunate things? And yet the one channel you decide to pick on is a channel that you happen to know, not because, oh, you do watch it, but you don't, but you do, but you don't, but you do watch every stream, but you don't. Your ex-friend Tony, and that terrible little Griffey is in her channel, right? That's not getting your goat at all. In fact, Griffey has got your goat, took your goat, fucked off entirely with your goat, And your goat is now living a happy life, as will the squirrel
In Africa.
in Africa with the giraffes. um, it's a very, very weird situation. I don't understand quite how you get to that point. But yet, we're the terrible ones. You, the person who ridicules your ex-friend, calling her very, very horrible names, misdiagnosing her, because as far as you have ever said, you have no medical training, perp. Thank God, to be quite honest. And it shows. It shows that the most effort you put into your day is the time where you're lying on your back dreaming of Costco, because while the rest of us were out working and raising families, you were sitting at home playing hide the squirrel.
In a
But yeah,
shoebox.
in a shoebox. So if you wonder why we're not looking to you for research, I would say that might cover it. You wanted a wicked witch. You're going to get one. Because this is still me holding back. Unlike you, I'm not trying to do the worst I possibly can. In fact, I have made an effort to learn things, to do things that were not within my skill set. I didn't sit for 6 months and wait till Frosty showed me what to do. I had to try to learn to be able to do the thing. I could just have had somebody else do all of the donkey work. All of it. And yes, you can go to Griffey's for the best donkey merch ever. She's going to kill me for saying donkey. Um, but the
As for
point is,
you,
I have made an effort. Maybe it's about time you could make an effort there, Purple. More of an effort than a little bit of clip art for some merch, yeah? You're so quick to talk shit about Chris, who spent hours designing, making, shipping items for you at no extra charge to you. That you treated her like shit as well. You see a pattern forming here of how you treat your ex-friends, Purple? And I mean friends, not acquaintances. Not like you thought you were with Circle Jerks because you shared an email once or twice. For most of us, that's not what a friendship entails. Maybe it is for you. It obviously is for you, because listen to the way you just spoke about when you thought Colleen had the audacity to get up on a panel and give you the revelation that she has an adult son. She's only said that on your own panel twice before that, before we took the piss out of it, took the mickey out of it. But yeah, you're the crack team of researchers, yo. Pure
oh,
lit, yo.
I want to offer the crack team of researchers as well as Perp herself some free advice. I won't even ask $17 for it. Perp, go and check your merch store there on Teespring. There is one shirt that has the text box still on it, you dunce head.
I mean,
It's
who
got
who doesn't want to buy a text box as part of their almost $30 shirt? Sure. let's do that, yeah? I mean, you might be wearing that perp in the middle of the cornfield, but the rest of us, even if we're in the middle of a field, have slightly higher standards. Just a
I
little.
mean, at first I was trying to rationalize it, right? Maybe she was trying to teach other people how to spell text, but I think the rest of us are quite good on the spelling situation, and if not, Google does help a lot, and so does a thesaurus. But yeah, so I really did try to give her the benefit of the doubt and come up with an explanation for the text box. But yeah, that's above my IQ, I think.
Well, again, considering we're dealing with the merch making text box creator who probably thinks a thesaurus is related to a brontosaurus, close cousins to the scapegoat and the squirrel. I don't know if the thesaurus was wearing shoes. I'm not sure, but the point is, you don't fucking check anything. You don't check anything. You just talk. Whatever comes into your head. Most of the time, it's a lot of huffing and puffing, groaning, snot sucking,
And bullshit in shoeboxes.
right? Usually, the best information we get is from the feckin' squirrel,
That squirrel doesn't get paid enough, by the way.
right? They really need their own channel, the squirrel.
Yeah,
I think I would actually sub to the squirrel channel.
I would too. I think the squirrel would be fun. And I think the squirrel does have a sense of humor as well. So the squirrel would have been able to see the parody.
The squirrel is feckin' hilarious. You see the times that it chips in when Perp is trying to rage at people? Perfect comedy timing. Perfect.
Yeah.
The comedy chops on that squirrel are impeccable. A little bit like its Nikes. So let's finish this up and see how Huffy Puffy is doing. Did I just muck that up? I think I did.
Well, we're back on the screen.
We are. Did you hear any conversation about a pussy
Nope.
by any chance?
Nope.
Yeah, I see. And I thought I just knew. I was like, I've done something wrong. So let me rectify that. We're going to hear some nice conversation about some felines,
Hmm.
possibly related to a comment that, again, if Perp had any idea of researching anything, she would have found out what minge meant and understand that when Jackie Jude was making that comment, it was relating back to that.
Yes.
So,
The
yeah,
minge.
look at Perp learning all the words today. Hi, Heidi. Hi. Hi, how you doing? Hi.
Hello, Unseen. Identity crisis.
Hi.
Lost house. Bullshit shoes.
And Wee Frosty, she's just as fucking evil and fucked up as the rest of them. Yeah, that's definitely Pearl. That's not Colleen.
I mean, quite frankly, did you assume that I paid for them? And there's no need to pay for them. If I've got a big coat on, I just shove them in my pockets. Not about. That's it.
Oh, gross. Jackie Jude in the chat says, "How's your pussy, Colleen?" Wow. And they're all fucking laughing.
After the prison pocket is already full with the miniatures, you know. The one pocket is always the one that you fill first. Yeah, some or other UK person yourself. Wow, I mean, I don't have much love. I've got to acknowledge that that is a good. You don't think you did.
Sorry, I can't listen to it.
Maybe. Well, you can probably see some cash out. Give me a social security number. No, you have. Yeah, I was deeply upset. But there you go. Nobody noticed, so we carry on. No more. Oh, I tried, but you know what? Colleen, I can't remember what I said to one panel to the next. You just say, "Oh, I must have had a drink." Yeah, I knew she had purchased a book from that deposit. I mean, I'm going.
I gotta pause it for a second. Yeah, that's not Colleen.
Really, Purple?
Yes?
That's not Colleen?
It's
Really, Purple? But that's not what you said like 5 minutes ago.
Right? I mean, it was much longer in Perp's stream time because, again, there was the huffing, puffing, the going in and out for cigarettes because she was just so furious and disgusted, shocked, and appalled by the treatment that Colleen was giving Perp, Heidi, being bashed, harassed, terrorized, stalked, and abused her and her minor squirrel. It, it It's a good job Purple didn't say any of that, right? And it was just the little hate channel that told Purple to say that. They made Purple do that. It's almost like I'm beginning to think Purp has one of those little chips in her head, like Ernie has. You know the way he's part of the secret soldier, super soldier. Yep. I'm not quite sure that Lightning Corn in the Cob has quite the same force behind it as Lightning Tiger.
Nah, it would be more something like toasted cornfield.
Yeah, slightly stale popcorn, possibly. But now that she's gotten to the bottom of that terrible, terrible conundrum and realized that everything is right in the world again, that her and her friends have no responsibility in anything, and it's only things that are ever done by anyone else. How do you all feel about that? How do you feel, Heidi and Unseen? I didn't see you doing much to stop that. Probably Heidi was in bed asleep. She's always in bed asleep when something terrible happens, which is handy. There was, let me clarify, one person in your chat that tried to tell you and you wouldn't listen. You were so overcome with glee at being able to bitch and moan about the little hate channel that is Griffey. You didn't check any of it, Perp. A little bit like your merch. You didn't feckin' check it. You just chucked it out there. But you're going to do so much of a better job than anybody else. You're going to make all the rules. You're going to tell everybody where they're allowed to go, where they're not allowed to go. You're going to tell them that the people in your channel are allowed to say what they want. It's none of your responsibility, except when it's on your channel. So I ask you, Perp, is it your responsibility when you fail to check the validity of information and for the third time in as many months make a total arse of yourself on live stream? Thankfully, this time was less bad. But considering you think that people taking the mickey out of Colleen's accent would topple her over the edge, perhaps you should have thought about that before you started to judge this bit of audio footage you hadn't even listened to. Maybe that should have just twinkled across your mind like a little fairy toad squirrel, just tiptoeing through the tulips of your tiny mind, hoping to God that it would hit a neuron at some point. So is that your responsibility, Purple? Because you think everybody else is so bad and so terrible. So terrible. You're about to see how terrible you are. I'm going to show you. This is the second live stream. There will be more. And quite frankly, how you conduct yourself, Purple, will inform how wicked and witchy those live streams actually are. And that's not a threat or blackmail. Again, as I said in my first stream, I downloaded all the shit I needed to get before I ever opened my mouth.
You see? Because even though the little hate channel and the wee wicked witch are so evil, one thing I can guarantee you we are patient bitches. You started this mess. We'll finish it.
And unlike you, we don't need to do worse than everyone else. We don't need to try to flex with how low can you go. Quite the opposite. I'm going to show how low you have gone. So really all that it is a question of now, Perp, is how far can you outdo yourself? You are making yourself into a future tragedy pimp. You're already halfway there. And hopefully your good friends, the squirrel and your team of researchers, will be able to help you unfuck that a little
With
easier than you did with Colleen.
a shoebox full of bullshit.
And a squirrel just for flair.
Yes.
So yeah. There you go, everybody. Now you've got a little evil frosty Ewok witch situation. I'm gonna need my lovely friend Stella to make me a little Ewok with a little witch hat and some various amounts of equipment because quite frankly, I would rather be me, Purple, than you any day of the week.
Oh, same.
So there you go. How did that go? Apart from my blip of technological capabilities there near the end. I think it was the squirrel that fucked me up at one point, to be
Yeah,
honest.
was definitely the squirrel.
Yeah. Yep.
He he tried to fling a box of bullshit at you. Um, I think he's frustrated being surrounded by all that shit.
I mean, it would make sense at this point. It just reminds me I forgot to load up the very last thing I have to show everybody on the way out. I'm just going to do that right now. Unlike Purple, I'm not going to wait for somebody else to do it for me. Amazing. Okie dokie. So that brings us to the end, everybody. I'm going to end us off with a little amusing video that I made. If you didn't catch my little wicked wee at the start, you should also go back with that. And definitely, if you didn't listen to the start and hear that entire fuckery about the shoes, please do, because the shoes, the scapegoats, we might
The
as
bullshit.
well enjoy it where we can. Otherwise, we'd all go crazy. And then we would end up having to become glitter ninjas, and that would be an unfortunate situation. Thank you very much, everybody, for taking time out of your day, no matter what you were doing, to be here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you for, like I said, being patient with me while was sick. Unlike Heidi, I don't get magically cured by a cup of tea, which is unfortunate. Maybe I just need to make some slight better efforts on my witch skills, and then I can make some magic brew. But hopefully there's an awful lot of content to get through, because believe it or not, part of the reason I still have for doing this is that I want them to do better. I don't need them to be my friend. I don't need to have to offer approval for everything they think or do or suggest. But good God, it's only getting worse. Every day it gets worse.
Exactly. Do better. Don't do better at going worse.
When your own squirrel is laughing at you, really that should tell you all you need to know. To be honest. So yeah, thank you very much everybody for being here. I really appreciate you. And I hope you understand why I'm still not calling you out by name, because then if Purple does so, she's gonna look like a complete chump.
Like a
Again.
complete and utter tit once again.
Not recently seen on the East Coast. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate you. And let me hope I can play this video, because I'm going to play this and then end. So I'll see you in the comments, everybody. Do all the likey, YouTubey things and stuff, whatever, or don't. Heidi, you can just sit there and glare at the screen. That's fine. For the rest of you, I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.
Okay. Love ya. Bye bye.
Bye. We're still here on purpose because I forgot about the very last bit. Ta-da! There were so many things and stuff and things and all the squirrel and shit and shoes. I completely forgot. If you play that little last section again, I'm not going to show it all again. I'll maybe just show that last little bit. You will see a very interesting written communication that was sent via the little hate channel. Not to Pearl, not to myself.
Not even to Griffey.
Right? About our terrible, terrible behavior. So, yeah. Drinky, drinky, Colleen. It's fair game, right? Once you've been on a panel. Perp said so. She makes the YouTube rules, not us. Okay. So, everybody, drinky, drinky safely. And if you do drinky, drinky, don't panely. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, that's us. Nighty night, everybody.
Night, night.
Oh,
Night,
bye. Bye.
night,
Bye. Bye.
bye. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.